you know, like having that uni experience that people talk about. And I was like, hi guys, so today I'm going to talk about being a commuter at uni, and I just want to talk about all of the benefits and the disadvantages that I've come across whilst being a commuter. And I want to talk about like why I chose to commute, because I know that now is the time when you're kind of thinking about what uni to go to and whether to stay at home, whether not to. And I just want to give my experience in hope that it might help you to come to that decision. So if you're interested, just keep listening. So the first thing I want to talk about is why I decided to commute. So I actually wanted to live away first. So that I only visited one uni out of, I don't know if it was 3 or 5 now, but one uni out of all of my options, and it was about 2-hour drive away, all by coach, and it was so nice. I loved it. I loved everything about the uni. I loved the town that it was in, and it wasn't like a really busy uni. It was quite quiet, and the town was beautiful, and even the dorms were so nice because I think they just done it up or something, so everything was a bit modern as well. And my parents came with me and they loved it as well, and they were pretty like set on it as well, as much as I was. And the uni that I go to now, I was actually like, I do not want to go there. I don't want to stay at home and live in the same town that I've been living in. I want to experience something new. I want to go to a new area and things like that. So yeah, for a couple of months I was really set on that. And then I don't know when it came to it, but I think it was like in the summer when I got my results or something like that, and I was like thinking about moving away or not, and I was really undecided. And the first thing that popped into my head was money. And I'm not gonna lie, like I am someone who does worry about money a lot and things like that, and I know it's not a good thing, but I didn't want to worry my parents about money issues, because I knew ahead of time that I might have to ask them for money. And because for a while I haven't been, because obviously I'm living at home, all I'm paying is like my bills and stuff like that. Like it wasn't a lot, and the job that I had, it was enough for me to pay my bills and just have a bit of money for me to spend. I wasn't driving at the time, I was just taking train. I didn't really go out so much. And then I knew when it came to uni, like obviously I have to pay for food, everything, like everything that comes with uni as a whole. And then I thought like, okay, if I stay at home, I could maybe keep the job that I have. I don't have to worry about looking for a new job. I thought about I could save up money, because I know it is really hard to save up money when you're at uni, because obviously you have all the other things to pay for. And yeah, it was mainly those. And then when I did finally definitely decide to stay, it was honestly the best decision that I ever made, because my parents also said to me, why don't you get a car and just commute and drive there instead of sometimes getting the train. Like it's easier in a way, and you don't have to worry about the expenses of it, because you're okay with the money. Like when everything does add up, and even though having a car is expensive and I've got like other bills and stuff, living at uni still adds up more in terms of being more expensive. And I'll go into that later on. I'm stayed here so I wouldn't have to ask them, so it would be wrong of me to stay here and then carry on asking for them. So that's the whole money situation. It's really helped me. So my second benefit would be my productivity. So it's actually increased. I feel like it's purely because I've had to learn about the discipline of going to uni from far away. So it's actually really easy for me to be like, you know what, I just want to stay in bed, and I can just be like, my car broke down or something like that. Commuting, it's the start and the end to a day. So my whole uni work and everything to do with uni starts from this time, and once I go home I don't worry about it, because there are other things that I do want to focus on during uni, and I do have quite a lot of breaks in uni, so in those breaks I'll do my uni work instead of doing it at home. And I love that, because I feel like if I was to stay away when I go back home after the lecture, when I go back to my dorm room, I'd be like, let me take a nap. And I don't know, like I feel like that's what I would be personally, because before that I wasn't very disciplined. I'd just do whatever, and I didn't really have a set schedule for things. And yeah, this has really helped me to become more productive and everything. So another benefit of being a commuter is just like the personal time that I have, and being able to separate my social life from my working life. So like uni life and like, you know, the whole socializing thing, things like that, and time when I actually need to like put my head down on like work. And that's to do with like my part-time job and yeah, everything to do with like working basically. And like uni life in terms of like the whole social thing and everything, I kind of felt like I might be pressured into being this really social person who I'm like not. And I know that not everyone at uni is like that, but just me as a person, I didn't want that to linger on my mind, because it was something that was going to like worry me a bit, because I wasn't interested that much in going out, even like at all. Like, it's not something that bothers me that much, and I know that I can make friends who might be the same, or in hope that I have friends that understand that about me. But I don't know, I just like felt like that might have been a problem for me. And yeah, like honestly, like I love it because I can just go home and I don't need to worry about anyone like thinking of me as like, oh, she's really quiet kind of thing. And yeah, I know that some of you might feel the same as me. Like some of you might have felt like really pressured and things like that. And yeah, I just thought, you know what, screw it. Let me just live at home, because nothing about moving away in terms of like the whole social aspect and things like that, like it wasn't like a big deal for me. Like if I want to join a society, I can. Like it's fine, like I can still do that whilst living at home. I just have to come home afterwards. I don't have a room 5 minutes away to go home to. And I thought, you know what, I'll come across that obstacle of coming home late when I get to it. So one of the things that is a disadvantage, or you could say like more difficult, is to make friends at uni. So obviously I'm a commuter and I'm gonna go there and then I'm gonna come back home and people will probably forget about me. And that's fine, because obviously when you're at uni and you live there, you're put in a dorm and you're put in a flat with random people that you don't know, and you're forced basically to get to know each other and things like that. Whereas I go in for my induction and I go back home, and all I have to worry about is that short time that I'm in at uni. And it was really hard, because I felt like, okay, since you're living at home, you're the one who's gonna have to make the extra effort to make friends and like stay in contact with them, because like there's gonna be questions like, oh, what flat do you live in, things like that. And I was just like, I live at home. And obviously everyone's like excited to move away from home and things like that, and there wasn't that many people in terms of like my like seminar groups and things like that who were the same as me, who commuted. It was only until I decided to join like a commuting chat group and things like that just before uni that I realised how many people there really was. But obviously we're not all in the same like seminars, lectures, even courses. So that bit is a bit hard, because at the beginning you're going to be put into your course group, and you'll make, that's the only kind of way that I would make friends first. Whereas if you're in a flat, you're going to make friends with people in your flat who are obviously in different courses. So that's the big difference. And yeah, that was really hard at first, but I was like to myself, you know what, just go in there and make friends. It's not like that's the first time I've been put into a situation like that. Like I went to a new college, you start a new school, it's like starting a new school. So I just had to, yeah, I just had to be like, you know what, just go for it, Elouisa. Just don't think about making friends too much, just let it happen naturally. That's like the only disadvantage that I have. I can't think of anything. Let me have a think. Maybe the driving. Sometimes it's tiring. Like sometimes I'm like, oh, okay, like I have missed lectures. I'm not gonna lie, but some people miss lectures when they're already at uni. So driving can be tiring. Like the feeling of having to drive after a long day of uni, like especially when I get stuck in traffic. That's the only part really. Like I love my drives to uni. Like I listen to like podcasts or something like that, or yeah, like I love it. You know what, I love living at home. And I know it's not for everyone, but I feel like I've been able to know how to balance things easier. Like I've done more than I could ever imagine doing at uni whilst living at home. And I thought that it would actually be really, really, really hard. And I don't know, like I thought that I wouldn't be able to do it. But after like a month or two, I was like, this is really great. I have so much time to think about like other things, like my gym, and like now that the blog thing, doing this, like I've got a lot of time. Like yeah, like I don't feel like It's been a problem in terms of the friends that I have now as well. Obviously it's hard when you have group meetings. That's the only hard bit actually. That's a hard bit, is group meetings. Or if, okay. So actually another disadvantage might be if you have a lot of group meetings, or if you have big gaps like I do. Like I have a 4-hour gap on a Monday, and at first I was like, what do I do with that? If you don't have a lot of work at the beginning of the year, like what are you gonna do? So I used to sleep in my car. I used to nap in my car, I'm not even joking, and the security guard used to come by and be like, what the hell? And yeah, like that's what I used to do, because I didn't want to disturb my friends as well. Like if they wanted to nap, like fine. I didn't want to like just invite myself around there. Like I'd only do it if they asked me. And yeah, at the time I didn't know what to do with my time, and that's when I decided to do the blog. I was like, oh, you know what, there's so much that I could really do. And then I just sat down, I was like, okay, I could go gym during my breaks or whatever, and I can like focus on other things. And I also like do my revision and my uni work in those massive breaks at uni, and that's how I like separate all of that. And you know, it's helpful, but it was hard at the same time. Yeah, so like as a whole, I think commuting is the best thing for me personally. Like there's just so many more benefits to me as a person, to me like in terms of like everything to do with my life. It just fits around it, and it fits so perfectly for me. After a couple of months I was like, this is a pretty good situation for me. And like living away, like I just knew I probably would not be doing what I'm doing now. Like I just feel like that. And I probably want to live away maybe for 1 year, just because maybe in like 3rd year when I'll need like the resources at uni a lot more, I think. But then I was like, I did think to myself, look, maybe I should like experience just living away from my parents and all those kind of things, like not having any like rules kind of thing. And I'm not saying I have like rules now, but yeah, like I'm still under my parents' roof kind of thing. But yeah, like I can't think of that many disadvantages that don't have a solution, like making friends. I made friends in the end, and the whole group work kind of thing. Like I FaceTime them, I just make sure that I get the work done, like when I can meet them during my uni time. And I just try not to like not communicate with them whilst I'm at home, because that's really difficult, and I know what it's like to like be in a group and some people don't do work, and I hate that, and I do not want to be that kind of person. And yeah, like there's a solution to most of the disadvantages that I've said. I think that's pretty much it. Overall, I love the whole living at home thing. Like I still feel like I'm independent. I still feel like I can do the things that I want to do in terms of like growing up, being independent in uni, like living at uni. Like I still do that now. So yeah, it's all good, all good. It's a good decision if you think that you'll get more out of it. Like I try not to think about having that whole like uni experience living out, being away from your parents kind of thing too much, because at the end of the day I'm going to move back here. That's what I thought about. At the end of the day I'm going to move back here, and if I wanted to move out I could do. I still have that option too. So it depends, like maybe have a feel of commuting first, and if it's not for you, I know people who were commuters and they actually moved in the end, and yeah, like yeah, it's a good experience. Yeah, just do it, just do it. If you like this video, please like, subscribe, comment if you're a commuter like me, if you like it, if you don't like it, anything like that. So yeah, hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching, guys.